you're okay. So I was waking up last night between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning and basically had some information given to me, because I think why a lot of you are struggling to connect is because you need to understand that what you're trying to connect with is in different dimensions, and you need to raise your frequency. You need to learn how to access those dimensions and to be able to communicate with the guides or the angels, extra dimensionals, everything. It has its own dimension. If you think we're like very 3D, aren't we? Living on 3D Earth, and we can see in 2D and that kind of stuff. And there's so many different dimensions, and it's basically you're not going to access anything until you work on yourself, and it's such a process to go through. For example, you're programmed to be a human being here on 3D Earth, so we were programmed to be a special way for this life that we're supposed to live, basically. The life of being born into a world, being schooled, go through childhood, the picture perfect human existence of getting a job, going to university or whatever, get married, having children, starting a family, and then you have a fear for death, and you see death around you quite a lot, so you fear it. Some people have good lives, some people have bad lives, but it's all about this soul contract. It's something that you have to go through in life to understand living. Like basically human beings are quite special because we have emotions, and not many creatures have emotions, or beings have emotions. That's what makes us really unique, because the life that we live is a great experience for us through all the different levels of emotions that we go through. And they said like the reason why we couldn't be on like the light council or anything like that is because we're just so full of emotion that other beings aren't used to this emotion, and they would physically not be able to deal with the emotion that human beings have. I don't think their heart would process this information. It would be too much for them. It would be such a strong energy that it would just, they could not cope with that. It's just, we're such emotional beings, aren't we? Really, we are. So the first rule is to control your emotions. The 3D world, it's a hard world, isn't it? Lots of things come at you, don't they? And you think, why is this happening to me? Why is my life like this? Why am I being treated like this? You think the world is against you. Why has this always happened to me? Why am I always in trouble? Why am I always doing things wrong, getting told off and that kind of stuff? You've given out all this negative. And I live like that, I live like that completely. I was like very enjoying the materialistic world, like if I ever had a problem or anything like that, I always thought, just buy myself a new dress, that'll make me instantly happy. You go to materialisms, you don't go to inside yourself. You think, I had a crappy day, so I'll just have a bottle of wine and a takeaway tonight, Materialism, you're not serving yourself. You're trying to get rid of this situation, but you're not processing this information. Some people go through really traumatic experiences, like traumatic as in like victimization, being treated badly by people and harmed by people, and and they find it really hard to get through their life, but it's something that they have to accept and overcome. And I'm not saying it's a lovely process to go through, it isn't. And you find ways to hide away, don't you? You run away from your life, and you don't sit there and think, why did this happen to me? What can I take from this? How can I stop it? Why won't it happen again, And it's all about emotions, and basically everyone else in all the different dimensions don't run on emotions. It's just us, okay? And they're just unconditional love. Nothing else exists. Unconditional love, And we hate each other. We argue with each other. We fall out with each other. We just carry anger. We carry negativity. we carry things from the past that haunt us. We worry about the future. We just do not live in the present. So we're stuck in a 3D world. We're stuck in 3D. We don't know any better. We don't look for help. We kind of, some people enjoy, you know, the drama. They enjoy gossip. They enjoy hurting people. They enjoy being a victim, because, you know, it gives them some, you know, I don't know how to say this. It gives them comfort. If you're sad, you want to hug someone, you know, and you know, you just let it out, don't you? You don't process it. You just think, oh, that person's going to help me. That person's going to sort my problems out for me. So I'm going to lay all my problems on this person, and this person will have to help me. I think that's why people always think that they need to have a partner, because they'll sort all their problems out and you're two halves of a whole and that kind of stuff. And I think so many people just think, oh, other people are going to help me. Other people are going to solve my problems. Just everyone's going to take it away from me. It's okay. You know, and that's living in 3D. That's just how we've been programmed. We watch TV, we see like TV shows, and that's how their problems are dealt with. And we read books and stuff like that, and we realise that that's how our problems are dealt with, you know. And yeah, sure, that's the 3D life, you know. That's what 3D is all about. So yeah, it's basically you're just stuck in a circle. Why do things keep happening to me? Why do they keep happening? You know, and you're just using materialism as a quick exit to get out of this situation. You're not going within. You're not remembering who you are. You're just brainwashed into this situation. I don't know how to explain it like this. It's just basically you're programmed, this is how I deal with my problems. And you worry and you overthink, and then you think, oh, you know, I hope that person doesn't hate me, and oh, you know, I really need to look a certain way to be accepted. I need to talk a certain way to be accepted. You know, I really need to please people. I need to be a pleaser. You're kind of like that because you want to be accepted. Sometimes there's a reason why you're not accepted, because you're different, and there's a reason for that. But basically what I'm trying to say is, so basically you've got, say, normal people, earthlings, normals, that just keep self-destructing all the time, and that's their life. They wake up in the morning, you know, they have breakfast, they go to work, they do their job, they come home, they escapism, they watch TV, play computer games or whatever, escapism. They wake up, they go to work, you know, cycle, constant cycle. And you always think, gosh, God, isn't there so much more out there? But you're like, no, I'm too tired, can't be bothered, you know? And then you get people born with gifts. And obviously we're programmed as humans, aren't we? And yeah, I can see things, I can notice things are different, but I don't really know what to do. I'm really worried that I can't do this. I'm not worthy enough. I'm rubbish. I tried to communicate and it's not working. I can't do it. I'm rubbish. There's no way I'm going to do this. I'm not going to ever do this. How am I ever going to do this? You doubt yourself. You give yourself negativity. So you're never ever going to do anything because you believe that you can't do it, you know. And now I'm going to talk about our psychic abilities. Basically, it's a gift that we have. Not a lot of people have it. Well, they probably do have it, but they don't realise that they have it. And it's a different existence in itself to be psychic. You do see the world differently from everyone else, and things come to you and you're like, I really don't know what this is, it's freaking me out, you know. Or you can think, oh, this is so wonderful, you know, I have all this information and that kind of thing. And you think, right, I want to learn now, what can I do? Because obviously you just instantly just want to help everyone, you know. And like the most common psychic gift is, say, like being clairvoyant, be able to, or clairaudient, you know, be able to see things and hear things and pass messages on to people, and you just want to help people. You know, you don't want to do it for money, you just want to make changes because you're just a nice person. And gosh, there's so much to say, really. Gosh, where do I come with this? So yeah, basically, the psychics, for example, you've got so much to learn. You doubt yourself. What am I going to do? You know, you put yourself into trouble just doubting negativity. So to evolve as a human being, the most important thing is to have a clear mind, because you're not going to access any information unless your mind is clear. And you have to be rid of all the human situations that cloud your mind, and realise the reason why we have that is because we are told to be distracted. Could you imagine if everyone realised their psychic ability, how much power we would have as a collective? People would not be able to control us, would they? That's where religion comes in. You know, I completely respect everyone's religion, definitely. It's good for a way to have certain rules, you know, so people don't go killing each other or hurting each other or stealing each other's things. You know, there's good reasons for religion. And it's always lovely to have something to believe in. Faith, you know, it's brilliant, isn't it? Just to have something to keep you going. To think, you know, well, this is beautiful, isn't it? And there's someone that's going to listen to my prayers, and there's things around me that like help me in life. You know, it's lovely to have religion, don't get me wrong, you know, but it gives you the structure still, you know, of, yeah, nothing's explained, nothing's told to us. We fear things, we fear everything, like death, we fear death. There's so much. I could go on for hours talking about this, you know, I really, really could. I'm trying to get it in a nutshell to get everyone to understand what they need to do. So I probably think the best thing to do is talk about my process. For example, at the beginning of the year, I was completely different. You know, I had a boyfriend. I told him I was honest with him about who I was, you know, and I started opening up to people about who I was. And I just felt like I was supposed to be a light worker and just heal everyone and help everyone. And, you know, I thought that's what my job was to do, was to heal and to help and to listen and to teach. And yeah, I do that. I just was like a sponge. I was an empath, and I took everyone's problems on. I sorted everyone's problems out for them. And yeah, it was hard work. It was really hard work. And I just thought, yeah, I just have to help everyone. I've got to help everyone. Then I was like, oh gosh, you know, I'm not getting on at work very well at the moment. Someone really has got it in for me. And I felt like the victim. I felt victimised. But everyone goes through their own stages of life, and you have to accept that, because who you are right now is who you're supposed to be. And, you know, some people are more evolved than other people, basically, in this human existence. And we are quite evolved to have psychic gifts. And so yeah, I was in victimhood. You know, my boyfriend was a bit of a bugger. And yeah, I didn't put up with it, to be honest. So I left and I started reevaluating friends. I had a lot of time on my own, obviously because due to situations. And it was lovely just to be away from people and to focus on my own self. I actually gave myself a self-review. I sat down and thought, right, what have I got to change about myself? Stop being a people pleaser. Stop worrying about what people think about you. Stop being an overthinker. And they were everything that I went through. And it was just lovely just to take myself out of the equation, just take myself away from the world. Stop trying to help people that didn't want the help, who didn't change, who would just happily go home after work every night and play the computer games and just escape from reality. And they want to change, they want to help their anxiety, but no, that's okay, I'm quite comfortable how I am right now. You know, so you'd give so much to people and they wouldn't take it, you know, and that's enough now. Step away, work on yourself. So I did. I worked on myself, and I was worried. Like, the past haunted me a lot from what happened in my past. It haunted me, and I was worried about the future. I had future goals of what I wanted to do, and I need to get to the stage, and I'm working so hard. How am I going to sit there and be a writer if I'm working 8 hours a day for 7 days in a row? How am I going to be a writer? How is this going to happen? That's always just went around in my brain all the time, and it stopped my progression. It stopped it, because I was more than 3D. I was 4D. I was questioning everything, and everything was a headache. You know, like I say, I would get home from work and I'd be asleep on the sofa for 4 hours, physically exhausted. And that was the 4D experience of, oh, the world hates me. Why people treat me like this? I'm trying to help them, and I want to be by myself. Gosh, you know. And that was a 4D like experience of seeing things differently. And why am I feeling like this? Evaluate this, you know. And obviously, if you're overthinking and you're worried and you're stressed and tired, there's nothing going to come in on the outside. You're blocking yourself, you know. You've got too much going on, and you're worried about this human experience when you should be trying to communicate with things in different dimensions. Like, you say, oh, spirit guides, help me, angels, help me. What do I do? But you're stuck. You're in your own prison. You know, you're just stuck here. How are they going to get through to you if your mind is going a million times an hour, you know? So that's why they say to meditate. You don't actually need to meditate to see spirit guides. You meditate to clear your mind. And that's the most important thing, is clearing your mind and accepting that what is happening is happening. And that's what I did. And basically, so I went back to work again, stopped being a people pleaser. I actually had to take 2 weeks off work just to sort everything out in my head, you know. And because, yeah, I did feel victimised, and I needed to take some time out from people, you know. I hadn't been around people for such a long time, and it was weird to communicate with people again. And being an empath, you soak up everything that what they're going through as well. And, you know, you don't tell them about it, you just get on with it, you know. So it's physically exhausting. It knocks you down like a truck, you know. You just flat. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you, is let it go. Don't think about the past or future, think of the present. I'm here right now. Yesterday didn't exist because it's gone. Tomorrow doesn't exist because it's not here yet, but today exists. So this is what I'm trying to explain about dimensions. So you've got your human experience, you've got your questioning everything and the anger inside. I can't believe this is happening. I've been lied to all my life. I'm learning all this stuff about 5D and so much information. I'm so angry. What's going on? Why is this happening to me? That's very much 4D. You're waking up. You're waking up. And you're just realising, there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on. And you get angry. I can't believe this is going on right now. I need to change the world. I need to do something. I can't sit here. I need to do something. I need to change the world. And then you accept that you can't do everything. You can only do what you can do. And don't take too much on. So basically, like I say, my extra dimensionals only come in like 2 weeks ago. I was trying to communicate with my spirit guides and my angels, and I was like, where are you? I need you to help me, you know. I want to learn. Teach me. So I learn and I learn and I learn and I learn externally, because I couldn't learn internally. And then it's like flicking the switch off. It was realising that to truly understand, you have to go from within. And you will get messages if you listen and you don't try and like watch a million documentaries or like try and get things into your mind. It's exhausting, you know. So you just sit still and you listen. And 5D is just unconditional love. It's just acceptance, and there's no future, there's no past, you're just here, and everything's one. You learn that, you know, you've got different versions of yourself. Obviously you've heard of like past lives and things, and you learn that, you know, you're just 3D here, but they're not 3D. They're going around, whizzing around, having their own experiences, and you're linked, all of you. And it's like being a starseed, for example. Like, you've lived so many different times on so many different dimensions and planets or whatever, and you got access to all that information if you open yourself up to that, you know. Even if you're not a starseed, I mean, I basically think most people could be, you know. As I said, I'm still learning, and I'll probably laugh at myself this time next year for all the information I'm giving you. This is what I understand right now. So we as humans live in ego, materialism. If you take away ego and materialism, you can understand yourself and who you are, and you don't worry about no one else. Trust yourself. So where I'm going with this 5D is letting it all go. All of it, just let it go. You know, they keep singing that song, let it go, you know. Listen to yourself. Be out in nature. Look for signs. So 5D consciousness is when you got everything going on, basically. When you've let everything go, and you get in communications. So basically, in my experience, I let go of the past. I healed everything I needed to heal. You have to sit there, write it all down, like shadow work, they call it. You have to realise everything that's happened to you isn't a coincidence. It's supposed to be like that. And you've already agreed to that before you were here, that that's the experience that you want you to have. And it's probably something that's happened to you before. And, you know, like deja vu and that kind of stuff, but that's another thing. So basically you are thinking about why all this stuff is happening, and you're processing it, and you're stopping the cycle, because all you were doing before is going into a wheel, going around and around, and you weren't going out of that wheel. You were always, things attract you, and you attract things. And if you're not going to change, they're going to keep coming at you, and you're like, why is my life like this? And so you actually change it. So basically the 5D, what you have to do to get to that point is to let it all go and trust and be open to signs. So like I said, like, oh, this only happened to me properly 2 weeks ago. I was so trying to connect with my spirit guides, my angels and everyone, and you know, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was learning a lot. I was learning so much. And I just thought, I'm just going to give in to this. I'm just going to give in to it. And like I said, I always saw the lights dancing around. And then I thought, well, what could I do now, you know? And I just went with it. I just sat there and I thought, right, okay, you learn about light beings. Light beings travel in light. Let's go look at the sun, you know? And I looked at rays of light, and then I started getting those messages through. And then ever since then, they come back again yesterday. I was so happy. My beautiful little green one with the purple hair come and said hello yesterday. And yeah, I was like, I just talk. I say, what do you want me to do? What do I do? Tell me, teach me. I'm here, open to this. What do I do? And last night, it made sense to me. Basically, what made sense was that my higher self is what we'd probably call a spirit guide. So the higher self is another version of you through, you know, through a different life, basically. And that version of you is in communication with everything else. And then because you're not completely switched on yet, yourself can communicate with you, that can communicate with them. They can give you the information. And I think it's called claircognizance. It's the knowing. And so basically the thoughts are in my head, but the thoughts are from my higher self, transmitting the thoughts into my head. And the information that I get are thoughts. And I've got that quite a long time now, and I thought, oh, that would make a really good film. where am I getting this information from? You know, and it's played out in my head, and I've just come up with this idea. I'd be like, huh, what's this? You know, and you don't realise that it's not your human thoughts, it's something that's coming to you in the thought process. So yeah, so I recognise that as my higher self, communicating with whatever's coming through to me, and I'm processing it. It's like I said about the witches. I live in a place where so many witches were burned at the stake, like 2 minutes down the road, and they want to have their say, and they want you to tell you that you know how we're saying about how we like to be away from people because people are too much. And they used to live in the woods and little cabins, and people used to come to them for like potions and that kind of thing. And they were just so happy living on their own in the woods, away from people, because people were too much. And they just wanted to sit there and learn. But they learn from nature, and they learn from communicating, and like telepathy and telepathy. Can never say that. And they just sat there silent with themselves and had all the information. And, you know, people went to them and they paid the money and they said, heal me, heal my son, he's ill. We need to make sure that our crops are growing, so what can you give us to do that? And then just say, like, just if they gave out negativity and negativity comes back to them, their crops wouldn't grow. So they'd blame the lovely little lady that lived in the cottage, that she put a spell on them and then they can't eat through the winter now. That gets told to the mayor down the road. She's ruined my crops. My son isn't getting any better. We've paid her money, but she's put a spell on them and he's dying. And the crops are dying. And she needs to be stopped. So they go with their torches and burn down her home and grab her and burn her on the stake for everyone. That's what they wanted me to tell you. So it's people that have awakened and are trying to do the best. And that's the thing, we always try and do the best to help people, but people just don't, they just don't understand because they don't know what it's like. So yeah, it's just really hard to explain. It's so hard to explain all this. But yeah, like I said, I could speak to you hours about this, and I'm just trying to like put it into little pieces so it's easy for you to understand what to do. So I hope it helps. Hi lovelies, so I hope that made sense to you. It was such a lot of information and I ramble and I'm not very good at talking. Like I say, all this is new to me. So I've got everything that I got from my download last night. I'm just going to read it. And this is like the short form, okay? So basically it said, we cannot judge. Big letters, we cannot judge. And then it says, remember, when I said about light and dark, we must learn from everything and we can no longer choose sides. Like, I'm going to go into starseeds and like good and bad, but we must learn from everyone and not block off things because they're bad, but we must learn from them as well to evolve. And then to be a multi-dimensional being, we must understand that beings vibrate on different frequencies. Also, we can't just be 3D or 5D or 4D or anything. 3D or 5D, just not 4D. We need to learn how to tap into everything because everything transmits on different frequencies and everything is different dimension. So we can't focus on one dimension because there's lots of stuff coming from other dimensions. We might get an angel come through for us at one point. We might get a spirit guide coming for us another point. Then extra dimensionals come in. One from Pleiadian, Orion. And then we learn everything from different people, well, beings, I say people, beings, different realms, different dimensions, fairies, dragons, whatever, you know, whatever you tap into, all different frequencies. So just don't focus on one, just be open to everything. I know that we're told to just let basically the highest high of light and energy come in to speak to us. but some things do transmit on lower frequencies. I guess a good example is spirit, past family and loved ones and everything, and animals and that kind of thing. They're on a different frequency. So if you're basically concentrating on the highest frequencies, like angelics or extra dimensionals and that kind of stuff, the highest of high, then you forget about the low, and maybe your great grandmother has a message for you, or someone else has a message for you, you know, and wants to teach you. So just don't focus on just one dimension. So yeah, some dimensions will serve us more than others. So another thing is, you might get frustrated that you cannot connect with spirits or angels, but you have to learn first how to raise your frequency to be able to connect. So maybe like, you know, the frequencies that you can get on like YouTube, like all the different frequencies of the hertz, kind of different hertz vibrations and stuff, to meditate into that frequency to be able to connect to their frequency. So that's probably good. A little test that you could try is going into the different frequency hertz and try and tap in that way, because you're changing your frequency. And then it says, how do you do this? And then it says you need to work on yourself first. You need to be empty of every mind. Don't think with your mind anymore. Don't use your mind. Use yourself. Use your intuition. Use your gut feeling. Use your heart. You know, use these chakras. Use them. Don't use your mind. Your mind's human. Your mind is an organ. You know, the heart's an organ, but your energy is your chakra, and that's different. So it says basically work on yourself, solve all your problems, let them rest, let them go, and just focus now, you know, focus. Then the last lovely thing that come through to me last night was wake up humanity and allow Earth to connect with their galactic family, because it enables us to evolve as a species. So basically when we say like, yeah, aliens exist, and basically the Pentagon has recently released information to say that they don't know what the UFOs are. They're not from China, they're not from Russia, they do not know what they are. So they haven't said, yes, aliens exist, it says, we don't know what they are. So that's a little icebreaker here of watch out humanity, there's something coming, you know. And to awaken people is to tell them the truth and to say, like, you can communicate, it's okay, it's not scary. Films made it scary. They made it scary for us not to want to learn to talk to them, you know, because it's scary, but it's not, because we're the ones that hate, we're the ones that are negative, we're the ones that hurt each other. They just go on a frequency of unconditional love. They just want to help you. They want to help. They want to, like, they're part of you. You're part of them. You know, we're all part of each other. We're one, universe, universal, one. So when we start realizing that, that's when things start moving. So yeah, that's like a nutshell of the transmission download that I got last night. And I just rambled on about everything, but that's in a nutshell. So I hope it helps you. Like I say, any questions, write it down below and I'll help you as much as I can, because I really want to help and I know that you're all stuck. So I'm just trying to spell it out to you what you need to do. So I hope it helps you. Okay, thank you.